Transitions Extra Active Lenses. Experience life well lit. Ask which Transitions Adaptive Lens is best for you.
She was slipping away.
She'd failed everything. Everything had been tried.
Could marijuana save this little girl's life? What would you do if this was your child? Dr. Sanjay Gupta has a special report that could change the way you think about weed. CNN tonight at 8.
Your snoring sounds like a freight train. It's not healthy for you, and it prevents your partner from sleeping at all. You may search for solutions like nose strips, sprays, and other gadgets, but the proven way to eliminate snoring is to widen your airway. That's what dentists do with custom devices, but they cost thousands. Now there's an affordable solution. Introducing Z-Quiet, dentist designed and cleared by the FDA. Z-Quiet gently positions your lower jaw slightly forward to widen the airway and stop your snoring. Z-Quiet is comfortable and easy. It doesn't require boiling, fitting, or sleeping with a closed mouth like other mouthpieces. It's ready to use right out of the box. The soft material and patented flexible hinge provide comfort to stop your snoring the very first night.
So I ordered it, and it worked the first night.
The snoring stopped instantly once I started using it.
Amazing for me.
Try Z-Quiet for 30 days for only $9.95. If Z-Quiet doesn't solve your snoring, send it back and never pay a penny more. Stop snoring now. Get Z-Quiet.
This is CNN.
Well, the U.S. has put a big bounty on the head of the leader of al-Qaeda in Iraq. It's offering $10 million for the tip that leads authorities to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, dead or alive. He and his terror group are blamed for deadly bombings over the past 3 months. And at least 64 people were killed and nearly 200 hurt just yesterday in attacks across Iraq. This, of course, as the holy month of Ramadan came to an end there. 6 people are dead after a volcano erupted on a tiny island in Indonesia. This island shot ash and rock into the sky and onto a beach nearby, where we know 2 children were among those killed. The volcano has been rumbling, though, for months, and officials say people in the area have gotten used to it and have actually ignored evacuation orders. So we'll keep you posted on that. Brianna, over to you.
All right, Christy, let's go around the world now. First to Spain, where authorities say they have busted a human trafficking ring that spanned nearly the entire globe. And CNN's Al Goodman is in Madrid with that. Al?
A gang that smuggled Chinese citizens into the United States and Europe, sometimes forcing them to work as prostitutes, has been busted. There have been 75 arrests in Spain and France, authorities say. The trafficking ring was based in and directed from China. But the 2 suspected ringleaders for Europe were taken out in this operation in Barcelona. The smugglers charged Chinese citizens up to $66,000 for forged passports and a perilous journey abroad. Back to you, Brianna.
Thank you, Al. And now to Egypt, where supporters of ousted President Mohamed Morsi are refusing to leave the streets despite repeated warnings. CNN's Arwa Damon is in Cairo. Arwa?
It's the first working day here following the 3-day holiday of Eid that marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan. But Egypt's political crisis overshadowed that time of celebration. The pro-Morsi demonstrators remaining as defiant as ever, despite repeated warnings by the government to clear out of the 2 main sit-in areas in Cairo. In fact, they are calling for even more marches. The government repeatedly says that it wants to avoid bloodshed, but incredibly difficult to see how that is going to happen. And at these sites, you have families, women, and children. Back to you, Brianna.
Arwa, thank you very much. And let's go now to Israel, where some are wondering what impact the prime minister's health scare could have on Palestinian peace talks. CNN's Vladimir Duthier is in Jerusalem. Vlad?
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to leave the hospital Sunday afternoon after he underwent a hernia operation overnight. Now, according to a tweet by his spokesman, Ophir Gendelman, the surgery went off without any complications. Now, the 63-year-old prime minister was taken to Hadassah Hospital Ein Kadam in Jerusalem after he complained of pain on Saturday and was given a CT scan, which confirmed that he had indeed a hernia. Now, the surgery is not expected to affect the Israeli and Palestinian peace negotiations, which will resume in Jerusalem on Wednesday, since Netanyahu and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas are not at this point directly involved in the talks. Back to you, Brianna.
Vlad, thank you very much. And now over to you, Christy.
All right, next on New Day, a hot topic, literally. Scientists say violence, assaults, even wars will rise if climate change continues. What? We'll explore the link after this.
Hall of Success. Here we honor the proud accomplishments of our students and alumni. People like Maria Salazar, an executive director at American Red Cross, or Garland Smith, video account director at Yahoo. And for every Garland, thousands more are hired by hundreds of top companies, each expanding the influence of our proud University of Phoenix network. That's right, University of Phoenix. Enroll now. We've got a frame waiting for you.
Hi, I'm Carissa. Hi, I'm Sherry. And I'm going to show Sherry how collecting box tops for education earns cash for our school by shopping at Walmart. Come on. Sherry, look at all these products that you can buy for your family with box tops. And look, 4 box tops in 1 box.
That's awesome. More cash for our school.
Only at Walmart, you get 4 box tops on over 100 items.
Carissa, I got it. You only had to tell me 4 times.
Find 4 box tops on your family favorites, like General Mills cereals and Nature Valley granola bars, backed by our low price guarantee. Walmart.
Surprise, you're having triplets. Surprise, your house was built on an ancient burial ground. Surprise, your car needs a new transmission. How about no more surprises? Now you can get all the online trading tools you need without any surprise fees. It's not rocket science, it's just common sense. From TD Ameritrade.
You never told me Autotrader.com had new cars. I'd love a new 2013. These are sweet, but what kind of deal can I get? Okay, just special offers.
Now compare brand new cars from local dealers and special offers.
That one.
So you can find the one new car your head and heart can agree on.
Whoa.
Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
Why did Stockton go broke?
Morgan Spurlock goes inside one of the largest cities to declare bankruptcy to show you who's being hit the hardest.
When there's no money left, what do we have?
And how they're fighting back.
Guardian Angels!
Inside Man, tonight at 10 on CNN.
You gotta eat here. Fridays on Food Network.
Let the fun begin.
I'm a fierce competitor, cooked over 500,000 pounds of barbecue.
It's not about the look, it's about the cook.
One of you are about to own a restaurant. May the best team win.
A hot new lineup of shows is coming this fall on Food Network.
This morning, the body of an 11-year-old child was found at Broadchurch. Danny's life touched many people, and we'll be looking at all those connections. There will be no hiding place for Danny's killer. We will catch whoever did this.
David Tennant stars in the 8-part series Broadchurch. The story continues Sunday at 10, only on Showcase.
Is marijuana harmful or helpful? Weed, a Dr. Sanjay Gupta special. CNN tonight at 8.
Well, good morning, love. That's how we say it south. And you're looking at Atlanta. Live look at downtown this morning. Yeah, this is right outside the CNN World Headquarters in the Peachtree, the Peachtree City, I should say, because there's a million Peachtree roads, streets, drives, whatever. The sun just coming up, though, looking like a high 88 degrees, and it's been stiflingly muggy. Some afternoon thunderstorms today, too. So at least it's a beauty when you look out your window, whether you venture outside or not. But we are so glad that you're keeping us company. And I want to tell you about, ask you, do you ever feel, shall we say, a bit more short-tempered on those really hot summer days like we have had here for a few days? Well, a new study shows hot weather actually impacts our world in a big way. Researchers say there's an actual link between climate change and human behavior. CNN's Jennifer Delgado has more in our new weekend series, The Science Behind.
Whether it's politicians behaving badly or civil unrest halfway around the world.
We're getting reports from state media that anywhere from 10 to 23 people were killed.
It's clear that violence has no borders. But now scientists from the University of California, Berkeley have determined that the world could turn into an even more violent place, with murders, assaults, and even wars to rise if extreme weather occurs with greater frequency.
We think that our evidence
suggests that conflict could be a critical and important impact of climate change on future societies, and that we want to take it seriously and consider what the world will look like in the future, and whether or not our actions today can actually be affecting the safety of people.
Floods, heat waves, or droughts can spur conflict, and Song says violence could sharply increase.
When we think about anthropogenic climate change in the future, what we've done is we've calibrated our results to what we expect to observe. With about 2 degrees warming by 2050, we would observe roughly somewhere around 8 to 15% more interpersonal violence at most locations around the world, and roughly 30 to 50% more intergroup conflict.
Researchers also looked at how ancient civilizations may have been impacted by climate change by studying layers of mud in the ocean and lakes, or taking information from old trees, establishing a link between past climates and the collapse of major civilizations like the Mayan Empire.
We were surprised by the strength of our results, and that we were able to observe these types of relationships around the world, across different populations and throughout human history.
Isn't that interesting? And a big thank you to CNN's Jennifer Delgado reporting there. Make sure to tune in again next weekend for our new segment, The Science Behind. Brianna?
Thank you, Christy. All right, guys, we're going to show you what's ahead for the new week on Monday. This is what you have. The verdict watch will continue. Oh, that's Tuesday. Well, on Monday, the verdict watch will continue in the trial of reputed Boston crime boss James Whitey Bulger. He is accused of racketeering, extortion, and being involved in 19 killings. So far, jurors have deliberated for 28 hours over 4 days. And then on Wednesday, you've got a couple of things going on. The Republican National Committee is going to be heading for Boston for their summer meeting. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is among those scheduled to speak. The theme of the 4-day event is making it happen. And then, it's always a struggle with this thing. It makes me feel like I'm not all that smart, but I'm trying here. Also on Wednesday, former Representative Jesse Jackson Jr. and his wife are going to be sentenced in a D.C. courtroom. Prosecutors want a sentence of 4 years in prison for Jackson for misusing $750,000 in campaign funds. And then on Friday, this is a good one. This is back to school in Moore, Oklahoma. You probably remember that tornado that hit there, so devastating, and public schools have been closed since May when that struck the city. Makeshift schools have been set up for the ones that were destroyed. Then on Sunday, this is a story that we've been following all week. The Recall Bob Filner campaign is going to start collecting signatures. 11 women now have accused the mayor of sexual harassment. Christy, over to you.
Brianna? Technology has made all of us feel stupid at some point. You are not alone, I promise you.
I do this every week, and I'm getting worse at it.
Trust me, it's the whole thing. It's not you, I promise.
It's not me.
It is a question that's been in the headlines an awful lot lately. Is marijuana harmful or is it helpful? Well, tonight, CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta is going to cut through the smoke on America's green rush, and he'll journey around the world to uncover the highs and lows of weeds. Don't miss Sanjay's special investigation, Weed, right here on CNN tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Next on New Day, hoping you're going to stick around, centuries after Leonardo da Vinci created one of the most famous pieces of art, scientists may be a bit closer to figuring out the mystery. Who was the real-life Mona Lisa? Plus, we'll explain why a California group says they've witnessed an act of God.
Save big at Lumber Liquidators Flooring Clearance Sale. Get first quality laminate from 39 cents a square foot. Beautiful bamboo from 59 cents. Pre-finished hardwood from 99 cents. All vinyl plank flooring is on sale. Plus, get special financing. Don't miss it. Sales going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
You think washing your face is healthy, but if your skin feels tight and dry, it could be a sign of damage.
Get a healthier clean with Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Cleanser. Unlike ordinary cleansers that can over-penetrate and damage skin's healthy barrier, our breakthrough formula cleans gently, without the damage, yet removes dirt, oil, even eye makeup.
So clean really is healthy.
Ultra Gentle Cleanser. Neutrogena. #1 dermatologist recommended skincare.
This place has got really good chocolate shakes.
What she said to me, I was so
It's a good look for you.
That was fun.
Yeah. Let me help you out with it.
Oh, no, I got it.
You sure?
Just pop the trunk.
I may not know where the road will lead, but I'm sure my Subaru will get me there.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
This day calls you to fight chronic osteoarthritis pain, to fight chronic low back pain, to take action, to take the next step. Today you will know you did something for your pain. Cymbalta can help. Cymbalta is a pain reliever, FDA approved to manage chronic musculoskeletal pain. One non-narcotic pill a day, every day, can help reduce this pain. Tell your doctor right away if your mood worsens, you have unusual changes in mood or behavior, or thoughts of suicide. Antidepressants can increase these in children, teens, and young adults. Cymbalta is not for children under 18. People taking MAOIs, linezolid, or thiaridazine, or with uncontrolled glaucoma should not take Cymbalta. Taking it with NSAID pain relievers, aspirin, or blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Severe liver problems, some fatal, were reported. Signs include abdominal pain and yellowing skin or eyes. Tell your doctor about all your medicines, including those for migraine. And while on Cymbalta, call right away if you have high fever, confusion, and stiff muscles, or serious allergic skin reactions like blisters, peeling rash, hives, or mouth sores to address possible life-threatening conditions. Talk about your alcohol use, liver disease, and before you reduce or stop Cymbalta. Dizziness or fainting may occur upon standing. Take the next step. Talk to your doctor. Cymbalta can help.
Let's get the ball rolling. Along the Jersey Shore, Coca-Cola is partnering with local businesses and the Seaside Heights Business Improvement District to restore the historic boardwalk, welcoming beach lovers back with a refreshed and revitalized place to get out, get moving, and have some fun in the sun. It's part of our goal to inspire more than 3 million people to rediscover the joy of being active this summer. See the difference all of us can make together.
Closed captioning brought to you by Franklin Templeton Investments.
A global leader in investment management for 60 years. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Good morning, Washington, D.C. We have a live look there at the nation's capital. You can see the Smithsonian. You can also see the bottom there of the Washington Monument. Kind of interesting there with the scaffolding on it. I think it looks pretty cool myself. And we've got a mixed bag there today as far as weather goes. 85 degrees, but you've got some scattered thunderstorms. So you want to bring your umbrella and get ready to duck inside. Who is the Mona Lisa? This is a mystery that has puzzled historians for hundreds of years. She's so mysterious.
Well, scientists may be a little bit closer now to determining the real-life identity of one of the world's most famous paintings, obviously. A group of scientists in Florence, Italy, have opened a tomb that contains the remains of a family of silk merchants. And we understand the merchant's wife may have been the model that sat down for artist Leonardo da Vinci's work of art. Scientists are going to compare DNA from the tomb to 3 skeletons found last year in a nearby convent because they think one of those bodies may have been her son. So if they can do the match, they might have an answer.
Well, a group of California parishioners say the tears of God are falling from a tree. They say that every time they pray, water rains down from the branches of this tree.
Yeah, they believe the liquid dripping down is a sign from above. They call it a work of God.
And an arborist, that is a tree specialist, insists that the liquid is actually just a form of sap, though. Too heavy to be held by the branches, and as a result, causes the fluid to drip down.
I would think sap would be very thick.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
who
know.
knows? We'll see.
Okay, so talk about luck. A 12-year-old found a 5.16 carat diamond while gem mining in Arkansas.
Yeah, that's some luck. Michael Detlef has only been searching, apparently, for less than 10 minutes, people, when he came across the honey brown diamond. Look at it. Not sure what it's worth just yet, but it's the 27th largest diamond found in the Arkansas crater of Diamond State Park since 1972. Not too bad for 10 minutes worth of work. I think I'm going to be taking a little vacay in Arkansas.
Yeah. And finally, this is your must-see moment of the day. This ridiculously adorable little guy, a Chihuahua, hanging with his Italian owner.
Come on.
Doing what else? Yoga.
No way.
Or doga, or some like to call it. You know, you'd be hard pressed to find a dog displaying better form and execution in the downward dog, than this four-legged little guy, right? Look at him.
Oh my gosh.
Man. So there are commands, and he does the poses, and he goes through the whole sun salutation.
Look at him stretching there. He does better than we do.
Stretch your spine. Stretch, elongate the spine, right? Isn't that what you're doing in yoga?
That's what I'm doing right now. All right.
Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Yeah, we've got so much more to share with you on New Day Sunday, which starts right now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brianna Keeler.
And I'm Christy Poff. You're just joining us at 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Oh, you are up early on the West, 4 o'clock. Are you waking up or are you going to bed? That's the question. This is New Day Sunday. We're so glad to have you with us. And we've got some breaking news to tell you about from overnight. An FBI agent shoots and kills James DiMaggio. His captive, 16-year-old Hannah Anderson, is safe now, we're happy to tell you. But the end of this awful ordeal is playing out in the rugged Idaho wilderness.
And that is where CNN's Miguel Marquez is. He is in Cascade, Idaho, and coming along next, CNN's Casey Wyan in San Diego, where all of this began last weekend. Let's start, though, with Miguel. Miguel, Hannah is in the hospital. Do we know what kind of shape she is in?
Well, according to officials here, she is in good shape physically. She's also with a FBI a victim specialist for both her and her family when her father comes in later today, and he is expected to be here later in Boise later today. She's in a hospital there. But while those physical injuries may not be bad, the trauma of this last week will take a lifetime to get over.
Exclusive CNN video of FBI hostage rescue team members and other federal agents heading out on a dramatic rescue mission. Amazingly, the teams in full tactical gear were delivered to waiting helicopters in a U-Haul van. A modest start to an enormously successful mission.
Suspect James Lee DiMaggio was shot and killed. Hannah Anderson was located with DiMaggio. She appears well.
The FBI team moved in on foot to confront James DiMaggio.
The area where these two individuals were seen is about 30 miles from Cascade. The only way to access it is by helicopter.
The pair was spotted first from the air near their campsite. Teams on foot then moved in.
Special agents with the FBI's hostage rescue team, along with Salt Lake City Division of the FBI, observed Hannah and the suspect near Moorhead Lake at a campsite. Agents moved in to rescue Hannah. The suspect is deceased.
FBI releasing few details, saying the entire operation will now be reviewed by a team heading here from Washington, with DiMaggio considered armed and dangerous and Hannah a potential hostage. The stakes, enormous.
This was a homicide suspect that was in a very rugged area, and we had a 16-year-old girl. We have to look at the tactical issues. It is certainly a complex search.
A complex and successful operation ending a week of fear and grief.
Now, we all are getting more details about this operation. They were spotted from the air by airplane. Agents in an airplane spotted them several hours before the FBI moved in. They actually dropped them off in helicopters, a couple hours walk from the camp, because they didn't want DiMaggio to know they were coming. FBI agents then surrounded that camp. They waited until Hannah and DiMaggio separated, and then they moved in. Back to you guys.
All righty. Hey, Miguel, you've been with this team up there for, I guess, since it all began. I'm wondering, A, how all of them reacted once they finally had her in their hands, and B, I know that it was dubbed a confrontation. Do we know if he was armed?
We don't know if he was armed. We don't know if he had a chance to take a shot at agents. My guess is these guys are highly trained. They spend most of their lives training for this sort of stuff. They probably did not give him a chance. We do know that he did have weapons, and they expected that he was armed, but we don't know that he ever got a shot off. They say that they separated her from him, and it's not clear what she actually saw, and they very quickly then got her to a hospital in Boise.
And I'm wondering how they were able to separate him, too. I guess we'll just have to wait to find out. But, Miguel, great job. Thank you so much for keeping us apprised of what's going on there in Cascade, Idaho. And more of our coverage, of course, breaking overnight from San Diego, where Hannah's family is rejoicing after hearing the news of her rescue.
That's where CNN's Casey Wyan is. He's outside the Sheriff's Department. Casey, we've talked with family members, we've talked with friends in the last few days. This has been so difficult. Clearly, they were fearing for the worst, and now they're dealing with some very mixed emotions of losing this mother and her child, but also getting something back and finding that Hannah is safe. How are they doing?
Well, they're doing a lot better than they were a week ago, but as you mentioned, it is going to be very, very difficult for these family members because they are celebrating the fact that Hannah, as Miguel reported, is physically unharmed, but they're also mourning the loss of Hannah's mother and her young 8-year-old brother, Ethan. Hannah's grandmother told reporters last night that she spent part of the day packing up a bag for Hannah with some of her favorite things, including her gymnastics outfit for her father to take to Idaho, so she'd have some familiar things with her when that reunion happens later today. They also spent part of the day cleaning out the apartment that she shared with her mother and brother. They don't want her to go back there where those memories are going to be. They want her to have somewhat of a clean slate if she can. Also, the grandmother said that when she was cleaning out that apartment, she found little Ethan's SpongeBob SquarePants doll, and she'll be sleeping with that for the foreseeable future. It just kind of speaks to the real double-sidedness of this event, where they're mourning the loss of two people and celebrating the impending return of a young girl.
That return is going to be so healing for them. Do we have any sense of when that's going to happen, when Hannah will make it back to San Diego?
We don't. Obviously, her father is traveling to Idaho later today. We do not know how soon they'll be able to come back here. We don't know if the father will spend some more time. Obviously, she's in the hospital, as authorities have reported, for observation. We don't know how long that may last. We don't know what kind of law enforcement needs there may be for her in Idaho. We just don't know at this time, but the family very anxious to get her back in this area. Christy, Brianna?
Have they been able to speak to her yet, Casey?
They have not. The grandmother said last night that she had not been able to speak to her yet, obviously because of that law enforcement situation. That hasn't happened yet, but her understanding is that her granddaughter is doing physically well, and that's the best that they can expect and the best they could have hoped for at this point.
Certainly is. Casey Wyand, thank you so much.
All righty, let's get to Arizona now, where officials are blasting the Obama administration after FEMA denied the state money to help it recover from that deadly Yarnell Hill fire back in June.
That's right. 19 firefighters from the elite hotshot squad were killed. I'm sure you remember that. Homes and businesses in 2 communities were also destroyed, and that's really what's at issue here. FEMA said that because most of those losses were insured, it isn't necessary for it to step in.
To more wildfires now.